Morning, people. First podcast. Me and the boy Wonder. Lots of things to talk about today. As me and Koji-san usually always have lots of things to talk about in the morning. Before everything, this is like we knew this was going to be a perfect time because this is right when we actually talk throughout the day. This is at the beginning of the day. And then we talk about a lot of shit because we feel like we have to catch up on each other and the outside things happening. So this is definitely
too many times we've had such in-depth conversations for so long that it's like, why the fuck are we not recording this?
oh yeah, this should have happened a millennium ago already.
Yeah,
but no better time than the right now. And yeah, early in the morning, we're probably gonna try to shoot for stuff like this early. But shit, all right, let's fucking first thing I want to talk about, since we're both lived in Houston and I live in Houston and I was born and raised here, is fucking Astroworld. This shit is crazy because I had a friend that actually worked the stage of that concert on day one. And the things he witnessed is crazy, and it just backs up all the things that other people are saying too. Then more and more stuff gets unfolded. It's crazy because he was like, yo, there was literally a guy, like, he thought he got stabbed, and he's like, somebody's poking me over here. So they pulled him out of the crowd, out of the front, and he was literally, they go to check him, they lift up his shirt, and they didn't see any like wounds, but they saw like a little itty bitty like needle puncture.
Mm.
And they were like, what the fuck? They let him back into the crowd, and that same guy, Alan, and the rest of security, they saw him on the floor like an hour later. And what people were talking about is like somebody was really going around with a needle and poking people and get like with whatever. Like, who even knows what the fuck it was? It's just crazy. Like, at first I thought, okay, this is bad. But now it's like the worst thing that's ever happened at a concert. And Houston can't have nothing nice, bro. We can't have nothing fucking nice. That's what I wanted to get at.
Do you really think that that's Houston, or do you think that that's just the magnitude of
Travis Scott and his? Okay, so it's like a double. It's like a double thing. That's why it was so bad. Is because like Houston and where NRG is located, and like the kind of people that all walks of life are coming to Houston because it's like such a central point. And it's like that alone, and then like how Houston people are diehard, and then the fact that he's from Houston, and then the way he acts too, to incite this stuff, just all made it ball up into this fucking tragedy. Because we already are kind of like, we're just the dirty South. Like when we have music concerts, like they get pretty wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, Travis Scott being from Houston, having Drake come out who reps Houston stupid hard. But even before that, so I know one of the guys. I have a regular that comes into my bar, and her son was at the concert, and he got interviewed 3 times by News 18 for Houston. I won't give his full name, but his name is TK. And yeah, he did an interview, and he was telling me like it was literally a war zone out there. Like before the show even started, he had people waiting for like 4 hours with like little to no music. And like that's not
Travis
usually
did?
Yeah, that's not usually the norm for a festival, right? Usually have, like, other music going on before Travis comes out, but
Right.
supposedly that was not the case. Like, he left it, like, mysterious, and he had all the, like, the pictures and the picture and videos show, like, he had, like, this fucking gate of hell looking ass thing coming out, and fucking just had people waiting for 3, 4 hours, and then right before when he came out, he had people, like, basically stampeding at that point because they had been waiting so long. People were stampeding over to get closer and stuff, and that's supposedly 3 songs in, people were already dying. Like, people were already on the floor. TK said, like, he was near the front on the far left side, and the far left side was having a fight with the far right side that started way before the show started too, so there was that conflict as well. Like,
A
they were
fight
throwing
between
they were
sides?
yeah, they were throwing shit back and forth at each other. Like
Why? Why this
like,
just
they're
because?
bored and it's
Yeah.
been 3 hours and,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of things that, like, made this shit happen. Yeah, he said, like, everybody was compressed before the show started, so then as soon as it started, it was, like, crazy,
Right.
and then 3 songs in, TK had already seen people, like, on the floor, like, layers of people on the floor, like, they're not dead yet, but there's, like, people already falling and laying on the floor, like, trying to get up, 3 songs in, and then, like, TK starts seeing people, like, turning gray and shit on the floor, and nobody's helping each other, and it's just, like, crazy, and TK was like he was in, like, one of the viral videos where it has the Houston PD CPRing the people. TK is the one in the video, like, trying to help one of the big men up.
Hmm.
So, he's, like, on the main video, and yeah, it's just crazy, bro.
That's one thing that keeps fucking tripping me out is just thinking about like people keep saying that there was layers of people on the ground. Like that shit doesn't even make sense in my brain. Like
It
what is
doesn't make
layers
sense.
of people? Like you're telling me that people were literally getting trampled and other people around them were trampling them and just not even like stepping on shit on someone's arm, whatever, and just like okay, and just keep going. Like what the fuck? You
Yep,
know, that's the
that's what they were
craziest
saying.
part. See, I was talking to my parents about this shit, and the craziest part about it is like like have we just been desensitized so much, especially because like maybe because of the COVID shit, and we've all been locked down and blah blah. Now it's starting to be over. Now we're coming out, but everyone's just been on the internet, fucking sitting at home, and then that adds to it. And like, are people so
Yep.
desensitized now that you see somebody like that, and you're just like every man for yourself? Like, what? I don't understand. Like,
That's part of it, you know? Because the last Astroworld was 2017, 18.
I don't know.
It was pre-COVID, so that had a lot to do with it, and then Travis Scott's fans in general, like, there's videos of him inciting riots, like, he's been in trouble for this.
Right.
Like, he mosh pit into a crowd one time, got his shoe stolen, because, like, of course that happens, you're in a mosh pit,
Mhm.
and then stopped the entire show so that his crowd could beat up this kid and then pull him out of the crowd. Like, they all beat up on him, and then they pulled him out of the crowd, like,
Yeah. So he'll
shit
stop the
was cr
show like for
like,
something
he'll
like that.
literally yeah, so, like, he's known to do
Well, also too, I saw a video of Travis, and it was like, "This is the footage they don't want you to see," and it was him being like, "Hey, there's a kid passing out over here," and he stopped the show. He
okay.
has stopped the show before, and like it's like I do feel like to a certain extent some like the media and just people are trying to demonize Travis when I don't know for sure how
Mhm.
demonic his shit really was intended to be because you can be a fucking edge lord. You know what the fuck they have like look at Slipknot. You know what I mean? Is that not demonic as fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but I don't know.
No, I know
It's
what you mean. They are over fabricating the facts,
yeah,
because, like, a part of me knows, from performing that you can't always be attentive to everything.
yeah.
So, like, I think he definitely has issues with his fans when he incites riots, and, like, he needs to be aware of that.
Right.
but
He
it's
needs to
not.
be aware of the fact that he does that. That he has that
Yeah,
power. Like,
that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Cause like it's gonna happen type shit, and some of it's not in his control. You
Right.
know,
No, that needs to be a
given management and stuff, cause he can't.
exactly.
Cause he's not managing the whole fucking like
Yeah.
people act like he literally put on the whole show and he just goes on stage and just controls everything. Like,
Yeah.
no,
No, that's his
he
team's
knows his
job.
lyrics and he
Yeah.
knows, like
That
he
should be
knows
the
what he
people that
wants
he
to do.
hired to do that,
Right.
to
So
control that.
it's partially their fault as well.
Yeah. For sure.
Um, but it is his responsibility to know what kind of power he has.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that.
Yeah.
He
No, go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I gave him the benefit of the doubt, when I first heard this. But then like the videos were coming up, and like you were saying, like they are over fabricating it, but it puts more emphasis on the fact that like, bro, he needed to be aware of like how tremendous this was.
Yeah.
Uh Especially Surprise bringing out Drake. But see, look, fucking 8 people were already dead by the time Drake came on type shit.
Yeah.
Like,
And how many were fucking passing out and almost dying?
right. So it's like, and seeing all those artists on stage, not because people were like dying in the front too. It's not just like the far back left or the far right. Like there were people in the front that were suffering too. Like, how did Drake not see anything? There were a lot of artists on stage, and it's
Yeah.
just like,
That's the thing. It's kind of all being pinpointed at Travis, and people want someone to blame for the whole incident.
mm-hmm.
But in reality, I feel like that's a fucking human error, right? Like that incident is mostly just human. That
Community error,
yeah, community error.
fucking castle error. The whole castle had a party, right? And the fucking chandelier fell on 300 soldiers.
Yeah, and
That
everybody
was
just kept
catastrophe.
partying and shit. And then now they're gonna try to blame it on the king that held it in his castle. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it's like no, it's like it's all of you, man.
Yeah, for sure. Um,
And to segue, before we segue out of
mhm.
this topic too, I had a woman come in. The people people love to use tragedy as like a sympathy card. Like this girl came into my bar the other night and literally got her car broken into, which is not our responsibility because you can't leave things in your car and we don't have cameras for that. She comes in mad, like, I want to speak to a manager. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, ma'am, what I'm gonna tell you is that's not our responsibility. You need to contact the police, and then they can run our cameras. If we do have cameras on your vehicle, then they can look at them.
Yeah.
And she left. She came back, mad as fuck, threw the glass on the bar table, and was like, I'm suing y'all for not helping. Da 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 da. He's like, really? After all that happened at Astroworld, you're gonna do this? Like just
No,
played the
that what is that like? What does that even
what
have
does
to
that
do?
have to do with anything? But
That's
just
a-
some Houston shit. Just
yeah,
trying to center that.
exactly,
Just trying to
exactly.
use that. Like, stop.
That's exactly what I'm
Stop.
saying. Like people, that's a community error, bro. It's a community error. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up, bro. Like you said, it's like you say you can. I've heard you say that a lot. Like Houston can't have nice things, but
Mhm.
it's like, man, it's starting to feel like just in general, we can't have nice
Humans
things.
can't have
Yeah,
nice things. Yeah. Well, major cities show like the majority of how people act because there's so many people that it's like, yeah, like if that's how the majority of us act, then we can't have nothing nice.
dude. At the same time too, it makes me really like question like where as like a hive mind, like where we're at, because like I saw one of the videos when they trampled the gates and ran through. Like this one chick like got trampled off rip, just
Yeah, off rip. Like
and
she
then
probably got up because there was not a lot of people, but like,
yeah, no, she got up right away and she like pulled up her pants and was like, And I'm like, I'm
Like,
like,
no,
bitch, what is wrong
we've
with
already
you?
fucked up. We've
No,
already gone too
she,
far at that
she really
point.
looked around and was like, oh my gosh, like, fuck it, I guess I'll keep going. Just kept,
Yeah.
like, you're such a sheep brain for that. You know what I mean?
Off that
Like,
Molly, she's like, I'm not letting this go to waste.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, God.
All
You
that.
know, she pre-planned. She took 2 weeks off of work to go to ASTROWORLD. She's like, no, this is fucking happening. I see
Yeah.
a guy dying right here,
Yeah.
but I'm still, you know, like that's the mentality too. That's part of
Has to
it.
be,
It's
right?
just,
Has to be. It's like, I'm not going to let this ruin my time. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
pretty much. I mean, selfishness, there's a lot going on right there.
Uh, Liz
And
said
it's
that,
not all Travis Scott, you know?
Liz said that mosh pit etiquette is a thing though, and rager etiquette as well, and that's I agree with that. You know.
Yeah, but Travis Scott's fans don't know anything of that. So
Right.
he needs to be aware that they don't know anything of that.
Yeah.
You know, because ASAP Rocky, I've seen him at festivals. He does the same thing. And at his festival, it might have been even more people because it was New Orleans. So it was like a huge festival with a lot of people. It was cheaper, so there were a lot of people there. Doja Cat was there. And he incited a riot, and the way he did it, like he really like stopped the music and like had one going and like was like, no, put him in the middle, was directing it, but like it went well, like nobody got hurt, like everything. He needs to know how to work his crowd. I feel like he knows he's got ragers, but he lets his crowd act up like that. You know, you have
Yeah.
to be aware that like you control everything up there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe like you said, like he's just unaware of how much fucking power he actually holds with influence and shit.
Yeah.
You know.
And like it's a reflection of his character too, because like although we can't blame him for everything, it's like, you know, they act that way because maybe like he kind of acts that way. You
Mm.
know, it's like ugly traits rubbing off on his
On his fan
crowd.
base. Yeah.
Like, and he's letting them get away with shit like that. You know, like fighting each other. You know, he got his shoe stolen, so he had one guy get beat up. Like, you're allowing that for like other shows too. You know, you're like
Yeah.
allowing your fans and these younger adults or younger kids to think that's okay, you know? So that's how Travis acted, so let's do
Yeah.
it, you know?
Liz is bringing up a good point too, saying that the metal and hardcore community is getting shit from Astroworld, as if mosh pits are the problem, not the people. That's the thing. It's like the mosh pits and shit. It's not the problem. That
It's
wasn't even
not
a
the
fucking
problem.
mosh pit. It wasn't even a mosh pit. It was a
Right.
fucking. I don't even know. It wasn't.
That
What
we don't
was
even
it?
know what that is. Just everybody fucking not giving a fuck about each other.
Yeah.
As opposed to like these other cult-like followings that like all love each other because they're all part of the same fucking cult.
Yeah.
Like Frank Ocean fans ain't gonna act like that.
Right.
But it's all about, yeah, it comes down to him and how he moves the crowd. You know, like I said, ASAP had the same thing with arguably more people, and it went, nobody died, went smoothly, and I witnessed that like in person, you know?
People like Travis too, like Trippie Red, Lil Uzi. You know, this shit could happen to them too. I could see the same shit happening to them. Just a bunch of people sardine packed, not giving a fuck about anything because they're like the more new age rock star
I don't
rappers.
know though. Like Lil Uzi Vert's fans might actually be nicer to each other because Lil Uzi Vert's like kind of more bubbly. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
actually
yeah.
comes down to like
Travis is really dark. Like his shit can be
he's
really.
really dark, you know?
That's true. Yeah.
So it comes down to he should know that though,
Yeah.
you know, because you painted this picture, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know it's a good lesson for
So
us.
so you don't think Travis is part of a fucking underground cult and he's sacrificing people through
No, it, no, you
through
know
a
what I
fucking
mean.
show? Cause
No,
cause like what about if he's like he's having all the sheep brains go through the fucking astro world
yeah,
through the
yeah,
fucking thing into the hell that he's created to sacrifice boom and
dude. I mean, that's what it looks like, you know.
yeah
But
that's
a
what
lot of
people
coincidences are, you can find coincidences in everything,
Yeah.
and that's like
Well,
one of those
also too
things.
though, I saw I didn't watch the video, but I saw on his Twitter after I looked at that he had a new video that he had just released, and it was him in a circle of grass like on a mountain, and there was six like hounds behind him, like in a symbolic, for sure, symbolic type of like
Oh
symmetry and shit.
shit.
So that shit was weird. Black dogs, you know, like hellhounds. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so shit like that really, you know. But it's even then, like I said, it's like aesthetic and stuff. You know, it's like I don't know. I don't know how far you're willing to take that. You know what I mean? Is he really
Right.
fucking doing Satan's work and sacrificing people in a concert, or was it just him being a rock star rager that he is, and fucking people not being able to handle it? You know,
I
our
think
own community.
I think he was unaware of how crazy it could get, and his team was unaware of how crazy it could get too.
Oh.
And he already has a problem with controlling his people because they kind of I feel like he hasn't figured out how to orchestrate and uh maestro everybody yet. And he kind of just yeah. It's crazy though. It's a good lesson. It's a good lesson. That's for sure. Like that's something that, you know, I haven't really thought about often, but it's crazy to think about now, like as an artist, we have to be conscious of those things.
Well, since we're talking about like heaven and hell or whatever and sacrificing people and shit, do you, do
Got
you,
really excited about that. You're like, bet, let's do this.
that shit's trippy as fuck, especially when you look at the video and you see six hellhounds
No,
lined up
yeah,
behind. It's
that
like, what the
that
fuck are you
like
on,
if
bro?
if that happens again, like you're up to something.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, yeah. If more people get sacrificed, he's
And
definitely
if I
sacrificed.
see some shit where you have some symbolic shit before a concert, I'm gonna be questioning you again too.
Yeah. Uh, well, so do you believe in reincarnation? Do you think it's
I
after?
do. I fucking really do, actually. And it's
So
crazy.
do
Yeah, go ahead.
do you think it's like I feel like I believe in reincarnation in the way that it's like like God is like an ocean, right? And we're all droplets of the same ocean, you know?
Uh-huh.
So technically it's like we're all the same person, just in a different droplet form. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um
Yes, that is a beautiful way to put it.
or do you think though that it's like that type of specific droplet can drop like further down the line and keep dropping down the line, you know, like gather more water and keep dropping down the line, and that person that gets reincarnated over and over again, like somewhere in their DNA, ancestors long ago, like that DNA runs through or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I believe it works both ways like that. Yeah, it's like droplets that web into bigger droplets, and
Who
it all started as tiny animals. We all started. My thing is, I think like people have like fucking 7 reincarnations. And if you're human, like this is the last one. You
You
know?
think so? So
Yeah.
so we started off as animal beings
Or
and
like
we're
an ant, or like, and then you work through it, and then by your seventh one, this might have been like human is like top tier.
mm,
So like you either go up or down from here, and I think these are the lasting ones after this. Like, and my mom said this before. She's like, there's certain people that think they're like on their seventh reincarnation. They've been humans twice. They've been animals like 4 times. And then this is their seventh time, and this is their third time being a human. You know,
yeah.
and it's like all that shit could really be a thing. Cause like my mom told me even when I was a kid, like I swear you were like a 30-year-old fucking, man, like already, like because of my old soul mentality sometimes.
Lar-
She's like, I know he's lived another life before, and I think that's you can really see that in certain people. I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah. It's definitely like you can see it in certain people more than others. That's why people say, "Oh, that person has an old soul," you
Yeah,
know?
and I really think that to be true. Like it's crazy to think about, but I think it definitely ties in, because I think that's why we keep progressing so fast as humans. It's just like, you get the next Messiah and he's like 14 and he like came up with like magnetic energy, It's always some
Yeah.
shit like that. And it's always some young blood that probably already had the information before because he was you know, he used to be Socrates or some shit. The Nostradamus type shit. I don't know. It's crazy to
Like
think about.
maybe somebody like Elon Musk is like uh one of the fatter fucking droplets, you know? And he's like his whoever was the last Elon Musk, like it's like
Mhm.
maybe that's
Seriously.
yeah. I don't know. Uh I've always thought about shit like that though. I even have like said in past like songs that I made, like uh I had this one line where I said, psycho, I might just go kill myself and have to repeat the cycle, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've always I think if anything, if there's anything that I believe like spiritually, I think reincarnation is probably one of the most believable ones that, I don't know, our energy might transfer or some shit.
Yeah, because I don't think it goes away. It goes somewhere.
Energy special and it's hard to believe that one day energy just doesn't exist one day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly that.
exactly.
Um yeah, I just want to touch on that real quick though. Because I always do think about that. Um and sometimes I feel like my like personally like I'm on a mission, and it's like that's why I said that in my song, like because I have thought about killing myself before, and it's like what about if I kill myself and I just end up right back here again, you know,
Yeah, same
doing
mission.
the same shit. I did DMT with some real old hippies back in the day, and I met what's next. I feel like it's like you meet the energy that everything comes from. That's also one of the more believable things that it's like we're all the same we're all the same thing, we're all the same ocean, the same energy, you know we're all just little, because that's what it's like, honestly, like what are we, we're like we're some type of consciousness, right? And it's like what separates like me and Jordy, it's like Jordy is just like was another droplet put in a different body in a whole different situation, and that's why he's Jordy
Yeah.
and I'm, but it's almost like that's just the main ingredient, the fucking drop, dude. The fucking
Yeah,
little
and I
drop.
mean it comes down to physical, like physically it's like that too. Like we all started as a little fucking egg,
Yeah.
you know? And just because of the vessel we came out of, that's why we had the journey we had.
Um, one of the shows I was just watching, like this is a spoiler, but um, it's fucking it's been on my mind since I watched it. It's so trippy. Uh, one of the one of the alien races in this show, they were some weird esoteric like energy based beings that were like a hive mind, that were so connected to all of each other that it was like they were a hive mind. They were like, like just one being, but they
Yeah.
were all separate though. So they were just each individual droplet, realizing that they're all the same droplet and then combining themselves into the ocean that they are, and then working through that as a straight up just whole unit, and
Interesting.
they were so like energy based and so like powerful that things like the biological like nature of humans, like how we have like blood and guts and shit like that like disgusted them. Like they thought and they had the power to be able to like possess people and stuff. They could take over vessels like that because they're energy based beings, you know. So, but they never wanted to possess humans because humans are fucking
mushy and
biomatter,
fleshy. Yeah,
you know, and they
that's
think
funny.
that shit is primitive and disgusting, you know, and it's like it really tripped me out because it makes me wonder, you know, not even wonder, but it just makes me think like there probably is shit like that out there, you know.
Oh yeah. And you know what? It's crazy because it's like, will we ever be mentally ready for that? Will
I don't
humans
know.
be mentally ready for that?
That's like that goes into like, you know, like a lot of people think that humans are like parasites, you know, that we're like we have a naturally, like we have a parasitic nature, you know. We're not, if you look at if you look at like ticks, you know, and fleas and stuff, right, they attach
Hmm.
themselves to other things and then suck the blood, and that's how they live, and they harm that thing, but they don't care because it's for their survival. And that's what, you know, on a bigger scale, that's what we're doing to Earth, you know. We're
Yeah, no,
latched onto
yeah.
Earth, sucking it of all its fucking nutrients and not
Resources and
replacing it.
damaging everything around. Yeah.
And that was part of the
We
thing with,
are parasitic because we don't actually, like, as humans, produce anything that like keeps the world cycling, you
right,
know?
that's I think we have the potential to grow to do that, you know. I think we have the potential,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
why
like,
our intelligence is the only reason why we can change it, is because, like, on an intelligent level, we can actually come up with like things in science, like,
right,
solar powered this and clean this, and
right,
we just cleaned 200 billion pounds of trash out of the ocean with a huge net because we used our brain.
yeah,
Like, we're capable of doing it, but by nature, yes, naturally we're like parasitic,
yeah.
like on our primal level. That's
um
crazy.
one of the things too with that show is that these energy beings, like they were offering Earth like a trade, and it was like, you let us uh you let us basically run the show, and you guys just fucking follow along, and you get to have because they had technology and shit, like they had like a bomb that they throw down. You could throw down like this bomb, and it would just make, like it would just reforest the entire shit, just instantly, just forest everywhere, you know what I mean. um
That would be crazy.
but at what cost, you know what I mean, like that's the thing with humans too, it's like we're very like prideful, emotional beings, you know. We don't only act on logic, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's very true.
So a lot of shit like that, it's weird. It's like I love shows like that, like sci-fi shows that play on stuff like that, like how humans differ from like possible other species that we've imagined could exist, you know, because of the fact that we're so like what about reptilian, like uh there was this one race of aliens, right? They fucking, they would kill each other over energy because they needed the energy to be able to pilot their ships, and it was a specific type of energy, and their ships were like, they were like half mechanical, half like what's it called,
Bio,
yeah, what's the word,
like
but
organic, like,
organic, that's what I mean, yeah. uh and yeah, they would even kill each other for these like special energy cylinders to power their ships. And they had one weakness, and it was the cold. Uh if they you're good, LARP. um their one weakness was the cold, and so they would do things like abduct other alien species, and uh run like tests and stuff on them, dissect them, this and that, open up their chest cavity, fucking, you know what I'm saying?
mhm.
And and then they would sew them all back up, put them in some fucking liquid, and they would come back, and they would have no real recollection of what happened. You know what I mean? And then they'll send you to go to the thing. They're like, they'll send you to the planet that's full of ice to go retrieve the fucking cylinder for them. You know what I mean?
What?
Yeah, and it's like they'll even kill each other. They'll force each other to do shit like that. You know what I mean? Like they'll kill you know their own species and fucking take their cylinders and shit. And it's just like there's probably, or you know, think about, like, I've always thought about this, right? This is one thing that fucking I can't get out of my brain, right? What about if there was like a reptilian species and they were so because I heard my dad actually told me this. He said that he heard it from someone else. It was that they went to an alien like convention thing, and the guy said that there's these reptilian beings that um their natural scent is like so like overpowering that you can't be too close to them because like you'll get knocked out just from the scent of their like skin and shit like that, the pheromones that they fucking put out.
That would be crazy.
And like I've always thought too, like what about if there was some type of being that was like so conscious, you know, so aware that like when you look at them it's like you can't comprehend like the amount of like consciousness that's like data that's being sent to you just from like looking at their eyeballs is like
Oh yeah,
too
like their
much.
energy is overbearing.
Yeah,
Like their fucking straight energy is overbearing.
because I
That would
mean
be crazy. Like, cause
shit could
then
make your
like
head explode or some shit.
science wise, we would take all fucking millennium to try to figure that out. You know,
Yeah,
because it would be on some like frequency level
yeah,
type shit.
that's what I'm thinking, right? It's
Their
like some
body frequency is just like
too
it just
crazy.
doesn't react with human frequency, you know, and it
Yeah,
just makes us break.
break or some shit. Yeah.
That would be crazy. I mean, that's a good movie idea too. Like motherfuckers can't figure out shit. They're coming in with masks. They're not even
Yeah.
looking at these creatures. They're trying to figure out how everybody's dying, and it's like a straight spiritual energy that is fucking just
Just
overbearing. Yeah. That'd be crazy, man. That's some Dragon Ball Z shit. That's like, you know, that's like if Goku overpowered in front of a human, like all that energy would just blow them back and they would just
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about.
But yeah, you know, uh,
What's that show
aliens and
called?
shit. Another life.
And it's an anime?
No, no, it's like you know that chick that played the
Oh, yeah.
Mandalorian. You know what I'm talking about?
Wait,
The
not the
badass,
buff one.
not
The
the
other
one,
one.
not the one that's a UFC fighter, but the other one that was like she was in the trio with the
Yeah.
other, and she had like the thing on her head that was like this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Yeah, with the orange hair.
Hell yeah.
That it's
She's in
that
there?
chick. Yeah, she's the
Okay.
main character, and she's like a badass like space marine bitch, and she's like, you know, the captain of the
Yeah, it
ship.
must be good quality because if they got her, I mean,
Yeah,
she's
no,
a
it's good.
highly paid actor.
The acting was good in that. That's one thing that I liked about it.
Okay, okay,
Um,
okay.
let's see what
I'm gonna have
the
to check that out.
what Large said real quick. If you think about it, we've been working our way towards that as a species. Our smartphones and computers have become a direct correlation to our minds, and social media has brought all of our consciousness closer together. It's almost like evolution is working towards that hive mind goal.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true though.
And it might have this adverse effect, which is what we're seeing with the Travis Scott shit, you know? Where it's like maybe the hive mind of what we're doing right now is bad and it's desensitizing us to each other. You know what I mean?
No, for sure, because it happens in nature. You know, we could be centralized like ants, or we could be centralized like fucking naked mole rats,
Hmm.
which is way worse. We could be centralized like fucking lemmings who hide in the fucking snow all year and fucking die because they trample over each other, you know? Or we could
Right.
work as ants that just can take down anything because we're fucking one single creature at that point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's true though. I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
natural evolution that's happening. We're making this technology, which technically is some evolution shit, and then it's like centralizing everybody's mind. Like, yeah, Definitely. That
especially
shit's crazy.
with the metaverse shit that's coming out.
But it's true. Like how do we know if that's good or not?
I don't
You
know.
know?
I don't.
How
Yeah, I
do
don't
we
think
know
we
if that's
do.
good or not for us?
I think that's
Like I
why
don't.
Elon Musk is tripping about the AI shit because he's like, yo, like I'm telling you, if we make AI and we just out of nowhere just make a like real artificial intelligence, like we might actually just fuck ourselves and get
Yep.
taken over by robots and be in the Matrix, like be on some Terminator
Like
shit.
it definitely could happen.
Yeah, dude, Elon Musk is our Obi-Wan, bro, our only hope.
It seems impossible for us to replicate the human mind though. Because you have to think like we actually come up with things out of thin air. Um which I don't think any other creature is capable of doing. Like we make inventions, you know?
Yeah.
We literally make things that weren't there before. So I don't know if robots will ever be more superior than us, you know? How are we gonna make an AI? It's not like you can make a brain unless they actually take a brain from a horrible human being and put it into a robot and it all works
I
together.
think that's the thing with AI though, that it's it's like our brains are actually like inferior to a computer. We're like a shitty computer. So if we make,
Yes,
that's why we have
but
computers doing
but
calculations for
we
us.
have conscious thought
Yeah.
though. Like they don't theirs is all written already. Like every direction has been programmed for them. Like but we might think of a new direction, like always, you
Well,
know?
that's like the theory behind the artificial intelligence, like that their coding is so intricate that they can create like new pathways and think for
Yeah.
themselves. And that's whenever it gets scary, because then what about if the robot is working for us and it creates the new pathway and then says, "Wait, why am I working? Why am I working for you? I don't want to work for you. Fuck this. I want to be fucking do what I want to do." And then they just do that, you know? And then it's I robot. You know what I mean? Fucking droids and shit fucking just like overthrowing humans and
Yeah,
wars between
shit's
droids.
crazy. It definitely like yeah. It could easily happen if we made like a battle droid that was already just like programmed to fight, like it could easily just go haywire and just shoot whatever.
Yeah,
And then be hard to stop because of how we made it.
and that's Terminator.
So and that's on like a simple level. Like the army made a battle droid that just shoots at targets, but some reason we can't turn it off and the auto lock just locks onto any target, you know?
Yeah,
And we needed 3 jets to take it down, like
yeah,
like, that could definitely happen. As far as, like, a robot, like, being so smart, it makes its own conscious decision to turn on its on what it was programmed to do, seems, like, unfathomable, but it definitely could happen.
yeah. And it's like it could get
It's,
to
like,
the
so
point to where
crazy.
they're like they realize, you know, the artificial intelligence realizes uh that what we're doing is like almost like the wrong way, because they've done the calculations and it's like it should be done this way and we don't understand why you're not doing it that way, so we're gonna do it that way and you don't have a fucking choice, and you can either come along and be like our slaves now and do it our way, or you die, you
That
know.
would be so crazy. Oh, shit.
This is to integrate our consciousness with the AI. He believes they have already won. Damn, you heard that from LARP. LARP said Elon Musk basically believes our only hope of survival long term is to integrate our consciousness with AI. He believes they have already won. And that's that metaverse shit. Who knows what the fuck's gonna happen, bro? Like, I don't even fuck, man. I don't even know what I'm gonna eat the next day. Like, I can't even fucking fathom fucking artificial intelligence and the shit and the metaverse and shit like that. But I know I'm gonna be in VR though. If that shit pops off like that, I'm definitely gonna be in VR.
I don't know, I think, humans will always supersede a fucking I don't know.
That's crazy. I mean, shit, we could fucking talk forever about that too.
I think it's definitely gonna get out of hand one day. But I think we'll always like I don't know, that's crazy. It is kind of scary to think about. If Elon Musk thinks they've already won, then shit, you know?
So since we're talking about Elon Musk too, like, real quick, and whoever's in the chat as well. Who's someone that inspires you, and uh, someone maybe even just recently, someone that makes you really want to wake up in the morning and get after it. You know, that gives you that big spark. You know, that big fire under your ass. You know.
Well, shit, recently, uh, not to be cute or anything, but I mean, you dropped the lost data shit, and I was like, and it's kind of like how I did the EP like about a year and a half ago. It's like you just did that little sudden burst of fucking, you know, sudden burst of sound, and it's like, fuck, it just really made me like, yeah, it's time to just vomit out music.
Mm-hmm.
It was like one of those inspiring things. Just like if we want to talk about like recent inspiration, yeah, definitely that.
Well, thank
And
you.
that's why that shit is important. Like, fuck, having people that do the same shit you do, because
Yeah,
that's how you keep going, you know.
for
And
sure.
it gives me new ideas. Like I was over here trying to make a really extensive album this year, but really now I want to make two sudden bursts of sound, and have them like play out a certain way, because that little bit right there, that fucking lost data shit is just like you made an aesthetic and you put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's and it like didn't sway away from anything. It was like confined into that aesthetic. And that shit is inspiring because, that's how we try to make music. And it's like, yeah, it's just fucking, I heard that and I was like, okay. It just definitely got me going again because I really was just kind of like, didn't know what direction to go,
Mm.
honestly. And it made me realize like that's like the best for us, to do those like sudden bursts of fucking damage like that.
Yeah, and soundscapes and stuff. Especially for artists like us too, that we're super experimental, you know, with our
Yeah, we
music.
don't. That's the thing. I didn't want to be experimental like I am right now and come out with a whole deep ass album and nobody cling on to it.
Mm.
Now, like, cause I have so many ideas. It's like, all right, I want to get this alternative burst done. And then I want to do this like trash can hip hop burst. And then I have like this euphoric R&B that I want to do over here. So yeah, it made me recreate my ideas pretty much when it came out. I was like, yeah, what am I doing?
Yeah. Well, shoot.
Hell yeah.
That's the best shit. I mean, you could ask for like for as being an artist, like you know that too. It's like you want to inspire because that's why we make music because we were inspired by the fucking people that
Yeah,
we listen to. You know,
exactly.
so that's
So
just the
it's
best
like,
fucking feeling.
yeah, getting inspired by it, like that's the best part. And talking about lost data, so how long were you making that music? All of that.
Man,
Or what happened? So tell everybody what happened. Like with the music.
it's definitely been like over a year that I was working working on that stuff. But it's like the unfortunately it's not like some cool ass story. It's literally I was clicking around in my fucking in my hard drive and it just I clicked back to it and it was all gone. And it's my hard drive is fucking corrupted or something because my computer crashes all the time. That's why I crash all the time when I'm streaming and playing video games. It's mad frustrating. I was trying to climb out of plat last night and I just kept fucking crashing during my games. And yeah,
I
it
know.
fucking it sucks ass. So
So do you think do we speak things into existence? Because we were calling this shit lost data before it was even lost data.
yeah, and then it really came out to be fucking lost data.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is crazy.
You gotta be careful with what you say.
Yeah.
Cause I swear I do that shit too. Like my music, like I'll write something that maybe hasn't even happened yet, and then it'll happen because I fucking wrote it.
Yeah.
Um, that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it made you. I feel like it made you finally release it instead of waiting a little longer.
Yeah, it did for sure because I
And
was
you
like,
still,
well, I have to just put this out because I was going too soon. Like it was pretty much done, and I'm just like a super perfectionist, so I'm just always like trying to make sure like I'll go and scribble one more time and then erase the edge and then just be like, all right, I
yeah,
think it's done,
for sure.
But yeah, this made me just be like, you know what, dude, it's all gone. Let me just try to get it back to what it was real quick and then put it out and I'm honestly still happy with the songs that I had left. Like you said, it's like a short burst. It wasn't
And
this
I
long thing.
honestly think it's. I mean, I'm not gonna say like because it's all suggestive, right? But because it was all like, I think this was like ultimately the way it was supposed to be. I don't know,
Yeah,
cause like, yeah, it's like you were strung on like one kind of flow and sound. Like even the cadence through each track was kind of the same,
mm,
and maybe too much of that would have been a bad thing.
mm,
But I wanted to talk about how the for me, I really fucked with it. Like obviously, that's why we make music together. Like I obviously fuck with it heavy, but it's like it's crazy how actually it's like such a showcase on how good you are at fucking chorus, like just fucking doing a hook. You're like
mm.
literally the Kid Cudi hook master out here right now. That shit is so fun. Like it's so good. Like that's what it showcases a lot too, right? Like aesthetically, it's I think it's when I switch monitors. Aesthetically, when aesthetically, like it's different, and then like the big showcase is like the fact that it's like really catchy every song because the
Yeah,
hooks are fucking fire, and then the lyrics are just great. Like they're so different and good. They're just they fit the aesthetic. They don't go out of it. Holographic nails
yeah.
like that. We don't even have to rhyme anything with that. The word selection itself, that shit is lit.
Thank
More
you,
of
dude.
that, basically. Like if you keep that sauce, it's only gonna get better. And what's crazy is like releasing this made me think like maybe we should do this like every month for like 6 months.
Yeah, try to stay on top of it.
Like little 15-minute bursts
Yeah.
every month.
I know for you too though, like, cause you're just like me, like it can be hard to stay on top of the music shit like that because
Yeah.
sometimes you'll do all five of those songs that I have on my thing in like a week, and then
Yeah.
sometimes you won't really
And
make
then you have
music for
nothing.
weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, I think if we try to do this every month, like it could be crazy. That's what it's got me thinking about. Like just starting to just release sudden bursts of things. Cause it's just I feel like it's a wave and it's saucy. Plus, like now it's like next month you could do a totally different sound.
Yeah, that's what I plan on doing too. Like how you're talking about like the trash can rap, like something like that for sure. So
Yeah. Well, I have stuff I'm working on with that. Like I have some beats that I need to send you. I told you I've been needing to send
yeah,
you those. But
and
there's
we have
definitely
that other
some that
song too that I want to put on
oh
there
yeah.
so bad. That shit's
Oh yeah.
so dope.
We
Gonna be
got we
such a
got plenty of shit to come
uh,
out with. I got plenty of production I've been working on. Definitely. Um Also segue to that. It's crazy how uh I've listened to like no mainstream artist that had the hyper pop situation going on. And then Amine comes out with his 2.5.
mm,
And that shit is like literally the same. Like it's not the same shit, but like it wants to be so bad, you know.
Yeah.
And that shit's crazy. Like, bitch, you've been on this for 4 years, you
Yeah.
know, 3, 4 years, and now it's surfacing. You
Yeah.
know, it's crazy how ahead SoundCloud is, and like that kind of wave compared to other, compared to mainstream and shit.
Yeah. That's where it fucking starts, man. That's where Lil Peep, that's where fucking
Yep.
Suicide
And
Boys,
that
like,
was 3, 4 years ahead too.
no,
And then it finally hit like Post Malone,
yeah.
in like 2017 and shit. That was good album.
Thank you. Um,
Any other topics before I start talking about gaming and shit?
well, I was actually just about to ask you about gaming too. Like,
Okay.
what do you think? What do you think it takes to be good at a video game? Like a mainstream, highly competitive video game, shit like League of Legends, Counter Strike, Apex, Halo, shit like that. Like, what do you think really? If say somebody's starting out and they don't have too much experience, right? They're not
Just in
years into
general,
gaming. Yeah.
mechanically, knowledge wise.
What do you think are the first like steps that you need to start taking, and how long do you think it's going to take before you notice any considerable results to be able to reach, say, like the top like 2 to 5% at least, you know what I mean?
I think I think a lot comes down to mechanically, weird enough as it is, like because you can be smart as fuck, right? But like if you don't know what button to like if you have to look down at your keyboard and don't know what button to press, like it doesn't like League of Legends is the best example for that. Like I feel like I understand the game really well and but mechanically like I just don't get the clicking around and like click like getting like lining up the moves and lining up your character with the click like mechanically like getting used to cuz like if you're smart as fuck and you have good game sense, once you get used to a mechanic, like, so you don't have to think about that anymore, you're just, like, untouchable, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I think, because that's a big part of it, obviously, and a lot of people are good off of no brains and just mechanics, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and then knowledge comes second, and that's what puts you in the top tier.
The
Is
knowledge is
like
the
because
final.
everybody gets the once the mechanics are down, everybody's on the same level field with some differences, right? With
Right.
little tiny differences, like maybe my bow aim is a little more consistent than yours,
Hmm.
but you hit the shotgun better than me, so like there's always going to be something. But with knowledge, it's like okay, but who knows how to rotate the right way?
Yeah.
Okay, who knows what to do in this situation? And who knows when to reload their gun right here and climb up this wall and not this one. Like knowledge will always over supersede that.
Yeah.
And it makes everything easier. Um
But if you don't, but like you said, if you can't hit the bow shot or you can't hit your shotgun shot, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Climbing up the wall doesn't matter if you miss the next shot,
if you miss the
anyways.
next shot.
Yeah.
So of course mechanically you have to be there, but yeah, um they go hand in hand, but yeah, knowledge will always supersede it all though. Like game knowledge and game sense. Um Cause like the best player, Sweet doesn't have the best. His aim is pretty fucking good, right?
Hmm.
But that's because now like his knowledge got him number one for sure.
Hmm.
Like it's because he of how he thinks about the game and how he talks to his team and shit.
Yeah.
It's like it's as simple as like thinking about chess. That's why chess is such a good game. It's like it really does come down to like do you know your moves and your opponent's next moves?
Yeah.
Because it'll always come down to that in fighting games and shooters and in chess moves, like what's their next move? How is that team about to rotate over there? And how are we about to take an advantage?
Right.
It doesn't matter how the fuck we're shooting if we're all in the right place.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
So
Sometimes it is that reverse. It's almost like there's a lot of situations, especially in Apex, where it doesn't even matter if you're hitting your shots or not. If you put yourself in that situation,
yes.
it allows your teammate to take advantage of that
Hmm.
and hit the shots for you,
You're
the easy
presenting
shots.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Having presence is
Valkyrie
important.
is a good example of that because she can literally just fly in someone's face. She's not shooting, but I literally made my presence known, and now DJ's behind you with a fucking mastiff. You
Yeah.
know, uh, Horizon's good at that, just making her presence known, and then just fucking making people shoot in the air for no reason while you sneak up and get the perfect shot. And now you just hit a triple take shot for 123, and then you hit them with the,
Yeah.
and it was like you didn't even have to think about it. You didn't even have to aim, but it's because we both mentally fuck them,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know. But there are situations where you can act like a dumbass and put yourself in a shitty situation, which I think I do often. But my mechanics get me out of them,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
because I literally just didn't miss and got out of there,
Or your
and I bunny
movement, like,
hopped.
yeah,
Right.
because like the other day when you saw me spaz out, you're like, oh shit, that's some Jordy shit right there.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
just
just hit the movement real quick. Like,
uh
like you were in a dumb position, but mechanically you over finessed.
yeah.
But
Um
knowledge will always make the game easier, and that's something I'm trying to be more conscious of too. Because sometimes I try to brute force through a match, because
yeah.
I'm like, I can out aim most people just because I've been playing shooters for so long. But now I'm trying to consciously think as a gamer and as a professional, like, okay, like let me just outsmart everybody and get best position because it makes the game easier. It
It
really
makes it just
does.
yeah, it makes it just infinitely easier when you're in the right
Infinite
spot.
easier because I mean.
Because then it's just free shots. Like now you really just get to chill and aim. You don't have to like force yourself to out mechanic the
Hmm.
fucking other person. You just can chill, hit your fucking 123 with the thing, and then drop on the kid and instantly get
And
free
Apex
KP.
is a good like that's why Apex has been making me such a better shooter is because it's such a long run. The matches aren't super long, but like just the journey in general
Mm.
is long to get to like where you want, like diamond and masters, and it's like you have to think consciously, like, yeah, there's longevity in this, so you're gonna have to pace yourself and like find that smart rotation and yeah, not waste time and energy trying to out fucking mechanic people when you could just because you're gonna be here a while, maybe
Yeah,
30 minutes, and then you may only get 86 points because they had a better circle because of RNG.
yeah,
So you need to play smart and not try to overexert yourself in the match just because you want to make sure you get. Yeah, it's
yeah.
just
Because
the
then you're
Apex
just
is
gonna
a
end up
good
setting
example of that.
yourself back more,
Hmm.
because you're gonna force something that's probably not the smartest move because you're getting antsy, and then lose points and have to fucking just play a whole new match and really fucking sit down and be smart about it. Yeah, I agree with that
Which
100%.
is why smoking in Apex is not bad.
Yeah.
Because I swear, like, it lets me level out and
I,
like
I've seen people on Twitter be like, I don't know how the fuck y'all play this game without smoking weed, bro.
there's no way I could do it. And PUBG was the same way. Like I've always been a smoker, but like PUBG and Battle Royales made me go super hard on that because the anxiety, the RNG, the survival, like everything.
Yeah,
Um yeah, the fucking patience you have to have. You just have there's a part in the game where you have to be patient. You can't just be doing the thing and just keep running. Like
right.
part of it you have to consciously think of like how we should be you know like, as we go through gold we obviously just like brainlessly walk around and try to figure out the map, but once you get into diamond you see like okay it's time to actually start thinking about where we're going to rotate,
And everyone else
when we're going
starts
to
doing it
rotate.
too, so it's like,
Yeah, and it's like now we actually have to be edge lords and that takes a
uh,
lot more patience.
and being
Or
smart.
or if we have Watson and Caustic then we go sit in the middle, but either way you're going to have to consciously like
Because then you still have to rotate there without getting caught. Because if you get caught out, you don't have Gibby bubble. You don't, what are you gonna do?
exactly, and you have to consciously think, "Are you gonna take this fight or not?"
Mm. Since we're talking about Apex real quick, uh, let's talk about some of the changes too. The for me personally, like the reason I feel like I'm having as much fun as I am again is because the gun meta isn't as busted as it was. Yeah, the triple take is on the ground, and that's probably the worst thing. But other than that, the guns are really balanced. It feels like after the
They are
rampage
this season.
nerf, you
They
know.
are. I agree. I love the triple take. So it's like a double win for me because I feel like I feel like the damage drop off and the spread on it is not bad. I get what you're saying. Like if someone's standing still, you can literally just bust them,
Yeah,
and that's broken. But for the most part, if like people are good and they're moving around and they're diamond, they're probably not gonna let you shoot them like that.
right.
So
It's kind
the
of more
triple
like
take's not like.
a tickle gun sometimes. Like
Mhm.
whenever
I mean, at its mid range, it's good as fuck. Like
yeah.
that's a solid weapon, but there's a lot of good mid range weapons. So
It's good that they put it into the marksman rifle shit, and you can't put a fucking big
yes,
ass scope on it.
because now it's not just tickling. We got enough of those.
Yeah,
We already have our fucking line beam charge rifle shit.
yeah,
You know, we don't. I think everything's in a good place too. I
me
do.
too. I think the
Um,
characters too are in a pretty good spot.
they
Like,
are, and it's mostly the map that has. We finally made the transition where we have a map that caters more to the mid range and it caters more to the characters that have been released now
yeah,
and not then. Because King's Canyon was for Wraith, was for Gibby, Caustic, you know? Now this caters more to like the newer characters that were supposed to be good when World's Edge came out.
yeah,
But World's Edge was too much like King's Canyon,
yeah,
but just a better version. And then Olympus catered too much to like the newer characters
yeah.
and had too much spacing, and now this is like it caters to the newer characters and still the old characters, but now the
It's a good
spacing is
mix.
there.
It's a really good mix. The I think the size of the map too, I wasn't a fan of at first. And for pubs, I think it's probably pretty shitty, but I haven't
Yeah, it's
really played
probably
pubs.
really bad in pubs.
But so that doesn't bother me because I'm worried about ranked, you know.
Yeah,
And if for
but for
ranked,
ranked, it's beautiful.
I think it's really
It's
good.
beautiful.
It's bringing out more. It's gonna bring out more, fuck shit behavior, but it's more competitive in a way because like
Yeah,
you have
uh-huh.
to be on your p's and q's at
It
all
weans
times.
it weans the dummies out.
Yep.
It weans the dummies out. It's not simple to rotate on.
Yep.
It's not, but then it has things that like you can capitalize on that make it easy to rotate,
Mm,
you know? If you're smart enough to like make those plans and decisions. But like, yeah, like the map does not cater to dummies.
yeah.
Like you can get caught up in a bunch of different dumb shit. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Olympus kind of played on that too, but only on a mechanical level because there were gaps.
Gaps, right? Which is, but Gibby and shit and Wraith, like you said, like solved a lot of those problems. You know what I
Solved a
mean?
lot of those problems, so the older players were not getting dummy checked.
Yeah.
They were like they were still doing their thing. But
Yeah.
now it's like, all right, like, do you really know how to rotate on a map now?
Yeah.
You know?
For
Because
sure.
there's a couple spots like you can get caught, like for sure, just caught in circle.
And they have the
Like, good luck.
the NPC,
Yeah.
the PvE aspect, which it's like it's a double edged sword because like it kind of baits like noobs to shoot the spiders and the prowlers and shit. Or they rotate wrong and they rotate into the prowler pit, or they rotate into the nest and they have to deal with the prowlers now when they aggro them. Uh, but also it's like if you're good and like, okay, we landed over here, most of the teams landed on this side, like I could probably kill these spiders or kill these prowlers and nobody's gonna fuck with me. Then you
Yeah.
get looted up for free. You get all the
Uh-huh.
attachments that you need. The RNG is being cut from being smart about,
That's another thing with the map. The RNG is cut as fuck
yeah.
because there's so much loot. There's so many little spots for loot because of the PvE.
Yeah.
This map went all the way with all of their good ideas instead
Mm,
of just tickling into them.
right.
That's why it works, you know? And on a game development standpoint, like, this is what you want, you know? You have to if you're gonna add something I see why they do it, right? They like to dip their toes into things to make sure they work, and I get that, but this is the result of them finally putting everything, you know, because 'cause we've been had dragons with loot.
Yep.
We've been had spacing like this. We've been had POIs like this. But now it's, like, actually all mixed well and, like, full force with it. So now all of the things kind of flow way better.
Yeah.
Because before we had dragons for the box, but, like, come on, dude, like, we didn't need that shit. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't add enough loot, and it was too much of a risk, and, like, you know, it was
Right.
just like
It's because of the way the map was too that it's like it's too risky to shoot the thing because like on Kings Canyon, right? Everybody's gonna hear you all on the left side, all on the
'cause
right
there's
side.
3 birds on the whole map, so,
Yeah,
like, you shot
exactly.
one of them, like, you know? But now that they actually have, like, a living, breathing, loot crate, but it's PvE form, it's like, okay, you know, it
Yeah.
works.
Um Also too, I really like the way that the buildings are remapped. Like I feel like the little POIs and the little buildings are way more fun and way more competitive to fight in because they added
Yes.
weird ass little angles that you can peek through a window that shoots all the way through the house in some weird direction, you know what I mean? So there's a
Uh-huh,
guy that
Kings
thinks he's
Canyon
safe in there.
buildings with, like, a little bit of Olympus edginess to it,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
The elevation too is I think good for the game at least for right now because we're so used to like not having to worry about shit like that too much and now everything has elevation so it's changing the meta for the champions where it's like people can have people that are mechanically good are feeling more comfortable playing like you know
Yes.
a skirmisher or a tactician instead of having to play fucking you know Watson or Caustic or
Right.
Gibby or something like that you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot more LOSing. There's a lot more, like, cover because of the elevation, so it allows for more competitive fights instead of fucking bullshit, I didn't hear him, and he tore into our teammate that was looting over there,
Yeah.
you know? Because now you can just drop an LOS before the fight even happens because there's so much elevation, like,
And then they'll have like under when you drop they'll have like a little cavern that you can run into and it can completely like change the fight
change
now it just
everything
yeah
now. And because we can't depend on audio, it works really well, you
yeah
know? Like, because I'll run into it, you know, that was the biggest thing. Like, okay, there's no competitive edge in this fight because Jordy ran into somebody like randomly that happened to be looting, like without him being able to like LOS at all. Like now there's
yeah
cover on multiple levels, and it just, yeah, it's just, it's better this way because there's so many characters now that allow you to change elevation. It's not an unfair advantage
yeah
either.
now that there's so many characters like that too it allows you to mix shit up so this map is letting you really express like different compositions for teams which
Yeah.
is something that is like was never really a thing it was always the same fucking cookie cutter team comp every time if you wanted to be meta you know what I mean like it was just fucking Gibby and Wraith or Gibby and Octane and Bloodhound,
Yep.
you
And that
know?
was it. That's all you got. Now it has a lot of different
Valk,
flavors.
Horizon, all this stuff. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, Valk was already decent, but now it's like, holy shit. And Horizon was decent, but now it's like, you know, those are like good characters.
Yeah. She can instantly bring her whole team up to the top of a fucking POI and shit, like,
Right.
you know, and like ape somebody or, you know. Yeah, getting height in this map is huge, so and the rotations, like you said, so Valk is very important. Which is fire. Cause fuck just spamming Gibby. That shit was whack.
And the end circles have been so interesting on this map.
They have been. Yeah.
So interesting. Like in a funny way. Like I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that one that we lost with Brain, but the missile silo ass fucking circle where it was on the island,
Oh
like
yeah,
just on
yeah. It was literally on the launcher, you know.
and they were ready, bro. They went over there so quick to hold that shit down. They were like,
Uh,
"Yeah." They
And
were
since
just
Brain plays Watson, we really got to see like the Watson buff in action, and it's fucking lit too. You know, because
it is very good, man. Watson's Watson's good on this map.
yeah, and Caustic not so much, which
Yeah,
I'm
because
happy.
of
So,
how the angles are. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of angles in the buildings where you can't just trap it all up and then you're good. It's like that's how simple it was with Caustic before. So if his gas was too strong, then everybody was using Caustic again because you just lock it up and then people die trying to get inside.
Yeah, because there's only 2 fucking paths through the
Exactly.
dam, but now they got 18 paths through the tunnel.
Yeah. So that's good. Because if you actually do enjoy playing Caustic, or you know, you consider yourself a Caustic connoisseur of some sort, then you actually have to fucking do good shit on Caustic and really bait people to come in a certain way, you know, or to peek you at certain angles and then contest them there at the angles instead of just sitting in one fucking corner and avoiding all the nades and then just sitting there and just
Yeah.
endlessly replacing barrels and shit. Like,
Yeah, it's so dumb. So dumb. Um, yeah, the new weapon is amazing. Like, we already talked about it
oh yeah, the
before,
car.
but
Yeah,
that shit is versatile as fuck. More weapons like that with versatility is just super lit. I mean, I don't know how many you can add before it becomes like too weird, but it's definitely a good. I'm glad they're always trying to think outside the box with the weapon.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
important.
for sure. No, Apex has the most diverse and
They do.
cool like
Their
weapon
weapons,
selection.
like they beat Halo
Mm.
type shit. Like Halo has amazing different weapons, but like man, Apex has that good like it feels like military, but then it doesn't. It feels like some science fiction shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. They got the fucking the light weapons, the heavy weapons, the energy. Yeah, they went crazy. And
yeah,
a lot of people I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews about the car, which is good in my opinion because there's
right.
people
Not
that
a
feel like it sucks and then people that are like, oh, this shit bops.
right. Like it's made for a certain kind of shooter. Yeah. Yeah, I like it because it's like the 301 has a lot of unlike the 99, it has a lot of horizontal recoil, so it's side to side instead of up and down, and it's just easier for me to control just because of how I shoot. Like that's why I like the flatline because I'm kind of a jiggler,
Yeah,
like you said with your aim. I kind of jiggle my aim too, so
yeah. Those weapons that are supposed to have like really hard recoil, like for us for some reason are pretty easy to use. You know,
right.
that is
And
true.
and it's slight. I think it might be like I don't know. It might have the same fire rate as the 99. It seems slightly slower though, or
Uh huh.
maybe just how the bullets spread. I just like it better. It's not as like sudden burst direct. It's more of like a I don't know.
Consistency almost to it. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I know what you mean. It's like the R99 definitely feels like more of a straight laser. You know.
laser.
Yeah.
This has like room for stop and go, stop and go.
It's more like a Volt. It's like a
Yeah,
Volt and a
yeah,
R9 had a baby. You know, it's weird. It
yeah.
has a little bit less fire rate than the R9, but not as slow as the Volt.
And I like how it shoots on a medium range as opposed to the 99. I just not that I had a problem with the 99. I fucking love the 99 and like before patch, I was fucking bursting people on Olympus, fucking, cracking their whole shield from like mad far away with it. But
Yeah,
um, yeah, I just like how this gun feels, just in general. It definitely is a preference gun though. It's one of those. And I like how there's no alternator on the ground anymore.
I miss the alternator.
I do too, but I think it was too easy.
It was easy though. You're right.
It's too easy, bro.
I never thought about that, but it
Now when
was
I'm
easy.
thinking about it, I'm like, dude, that alternator was dumb easy, bro.
Yeah, it was. It was like very consistent damage. Like,
Too consistent.
it wasn't the most damage. It wasn't like you're gonna just kill someone instantly, but you're definitely gonna hit people with that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it was really consistent.
And the hip fire on it is nuts. Actually, that shit was fire. The hip
Yeah.
fire.
And the hemlock is a lot better now. I like that because I love the
Hemlock's been
hemlock.
bussin'.
That hoe's scary.
Yeah.
That hoe quickly depletes your fucking shield.
That's the thing. I noticed too when I use the hemlock, like people don't react like fast enough. It's like it catches
Yeah.
them off. They're like, "Oh shit, I'm dying," and then they're like,
I'm
then they try to turn
dead.
around and run and they die. Like, yeah,
I'm dead.
it's really
Yep.
like that. It's like because it was out of the meta for so long, people forgot how crazy the hemlock is. You know.
Yeah. Yep.
So now they got that little buff. People are using it again, and it catches people off guard. They're used to fucking having time to react. That shit, you get hit twice, nice with that, and you're about to die. You know. So
Which is good because I mean they knew snipers were coming back. We needed more mid high range killers.
yeah.
Cause I feel like the 30-30 is like worthless right now. I I don't know if it's how I'm using it or whatever, but I'd much rather have a bow so I can move more, and I'd much rather have like a hemlock for mid high range
I saw.
fighting another sniper. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
cause trying to shoot a sniper with the 30-30, I feel like
yeah. No, that's what I'm. The 30-30. I was watching Albert Laley use the 30-30, and it's like even it was just not looking that fire.
it's just not looking that fire right now. It's like barely, but that's where it should be because it's just a little fucking repeater, you know.
Right. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
So
It's something that can come in handy, and when you don't have something else to fit that slot, but
yeah, it's like an early game killer, but
because I got a
you better get
30-30
rid of it.
when I was playing last night. I got a 30-30, and I was trying to peek, and I got lasered by two people that I didn't see because they were on head glitches and some because I don't know the fucking
Of course.
POIs like that. You know what I mean? Because everything's brand new. So
Welcome to Plat fucking head glitching lifeline.
Yeah,
Fucking
some and it's like on some shit where it's like I didn't even know that was like a spot. Like I'm looking at the most obvious shit. It's like I see, and then of course this guy's like at the top in the corner with the head glitch. I'm like, of course, But so I ADS to look, and then I get lasered instantly, and I'm like, oh shit, and I peek and I hide behind the fucking wall. And I'm crouched, and I know that they're about to push me. I know someone's probably about to push me because I got hit, and my teammates were holding it down. So like I put my back to the wall and I'm looking at my teammates right here, and I know that they're about to like come from behind me and jump on me. And the Pathfinder, I hear the grapple, and then he swings around. I fucking crouch, hit fired the fucking repeater and busted his shit. Didn't miss once, and it's like
yeah,
that shit hits hard.
when it hits up close to with the hip fire, it's good.
Yeah.
It'll hold you down, but challenging other snipers, you're kind of just at a
Yeah.
disadvantage.
It's definitely a lower tier. It's more versatile, and that's what's good about it. But that's what makes it flawed too. It's like if you want to use it like a sniper.
It's not actually a long range weapon.
Yeah,
It's like the lowest tier of the long
definitely
range
the
weapons.
bow is like showing, like even though the bow has been nerfed, it's showing its
showing
fucking
off.
Yeah. It's
showing
showing its
off
fucking
right
big dick energy right now. Cause I seen you using the bow and it's crazy. Like especially if you stack up on, and now it's not about running out of arrows because you can go kill the spiders and get arrows. You know what I mean?
know, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's good right now because I'll go farm some arrows before we leave, and I did it quietly because I used my arrows.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good weapon, man, because there's a lot more like things that try to give away your position now. So having something quiet like that is just huge.
Yeah. And the fights themselves, like where people end up being stationary, it's like the bow shines in those scenarios a lot.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing you put in work
Silent fucking missiles downrange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just wondering who the fuck is bowing them from across the map.
Yeah, but they're like, but Larry's already trying to take a battery and can't see where it's coming from, and so the other guy gets shot, and then they're all panicking behind them.
Yeah. I
No, it's great, dude. It's great. It catches people slipping for sure, and like, if you're a good tracker, people can run, but they can't hide for too long with the bow out, because you'll fucking get a rhythm going and it's over. Like, yeah, it's a good weapon. It's definitely a preference weapon too, though. Like not
Like you
everybody's
said, I never really thought about it, but that's true. Like the people that are better with the bow, they have a good rhythm with it. When they get into the rhythm with it, it's when they fuck people
is
up.
when they yeah
And that's what I see you doing a lot. It's just boom, boom, boom,
yeah,
boom,
and I'm
boom,
like
boom.
not missing
Uh,
because it's like the rhythm is there. Because there'll be times where I'm just missing every shot with the bow, but as soon as you find the sauce, it's
yeah.
like oh god.
People start dropping. Oh,
Um, what's another good weapon right now? I mean, besides the originals, Vault's still good.
yeah. Volt's still good. Um,
301 hasn't changed since like season 2.
yeah. I mean, other than the shotguns, like the Eva not being
Oh,
dummy strong is like,
yes. The Eva not being dummy strong is actually so fire right now.
and the PK buff because it's more of a skill based shotgun. So the
I
small
like where I
PK
like
buff
where
is
the
good.
shotguns are right now. They should probably not change it.
I mean, it's
They
not
should
even
probably not.
like they like they're not even that fire like on this map like we're talking about because of the engagements you get in most of the time are
Or mid
longer
range.
range, so
Yeah.
it's almost like you I think you're going to see a lot as the season progresses. Like I think you're going to see a lot more people running sniper AR or double AR like flatline 301, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they'll still have a mastiff Gibby in
Oh
last
yeah.
circle, but
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Uh second, third to last circles will have way more snipers
Mhm.
instead of everybody just trying to already get their Eva and hold a building.
The
Um
with the G7 being in the fucking pack care
I
pack
like that.
too.
I
It's
like that.
dope.
I like that cuz I think it's not that good either.
Yeah.
So I like it cuz I feel like the scout was too easy. Um
If the scout was on the ground right now, it would be getting abused on this map.
abused.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's the thing.
It was smart that they put it in the care
Yeah.
package. And it's because of the way the map is, it's like a lot of times I'm like, oh, let me get this G7. Let me just
Poke
yop
at
this bit.
people.
Yeah, poke at people real quick.
While they're fighting prowlers over there.
Yep.
Fucking idiots. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Yeah, I love where the shotguns are right now, honestly. Because the Mastiff's still good, and I think Mastiff's my favorite. It always has been.
That's what's good too. It's like you get to pick now.
You get to pick, yeah, their preference weapon. There's a lot of good. All the weapons are balanced, and we have our preferences now, and there's
Hmm.
enough variety now. And now we have 4 maps. Like Apex is in a good spot. The only problem is like technical things, which
Right.
they should all they which ironically, this is my problem with Apex. Apex should have technically had everything before they fundamentally had everything together. Like
Yeah.
they have the money to have technically everything together. Like the server and the tick rate and the crashing and the cheaters. All of that like that's solvable with money. It took your creative team to come up with this balanced sauce, and that takes time, but it's like it's crazy that you have that together before everything else. Like
Yeah. I mean, just the other day I was outside of the prowler pit and my entire ambient sound cut out. And every time I took a step back, I tested it. Every time I stepped back out of the prowler cage, it cut out. And then I step back in and now I hear vroom, vroom, and shit like that. And I'm just like, what the
what
fuck?
the
It's
fuck?
like there's just too much layers of audio and the coding is not able to keep up with it and it just
And
bugs. And
that's like what?
that's why you have people literally walking straight up to you and you hear absolutely nothing because it just is not registering any type of audio for that. Like, sucks. But you're right. And that's the thing. It's like this map too proves that Apex, uh, bro, they had it up their sleeve the whole time. They've been
The
working
whole
on this
time.
map for a minute, and this shit was supposed to come out earlier because it's like it's a beach. Like, why did they? release this in the winter. That doesn't make any sense, especially because they came
Yeah,
out
it's
with
supposed to
the,
be summer.
yeah, they came out
And
with
then
the,
a fucking cold, yeah.
yeah, the winter uh the iced up World's Edge and shit. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
came out
like
with that. You know, why are they coming out now when it's about to be winter? Why are they coming out with a beach fucking tropical themed map? It's because this shit is old and they've been had this in the works, and yeah, they're just now putting it out. So and it's like their content is there, but like you're saying, the fucking technical issues are always going to be a problem, especially for uh the the more the more the more core fan base of the game. You know, the
mhm.
core. It's not even casual. It's not even like competitive. Like it's like the core fan base are the ones that have problem with audio. People that play an hour a day or an hour every couple of day or whatever.
They don't
Those
give a
people are not going to notice audio issues. But people that get on every day after work or, you know, they're going to
yeah,
notice that.
cause the audio issues don't happen all the time too. It's like once a week you'll have like a really bad audio issue.
Yeah. Like
But as you keep playing the game, yeah, like people that play the game a lot know like shit's been
yeah,
fucked
it's like
forever.
every session you run into, you're gonna have like a person or two that you literally just never heard,
Never
and you
heard.
go back on the fucking VOD and shit or whatever if you're streaming or recording yourself and you're trying to figure out how come I didn't, and it was never there. It was just the audio was non-existent.
Yeah.
So
There's just too many layers and like I said, like you have money for better audio programmers and game programmers, but it's like you allocated all of your sauce to like the actual designs and balance.
yeah,
And you don't have money for your technical shit that needs to get ironed out since fucking day
hopefully
one of this game.
hopefully after this like year and going into the new year that they, because no, like as a company I can even understand like right now is not the time to do that now. It's not, it's definitely not right now is not the time, you know? Like you need to wait until after Christmas and shit because now you just put out this and everything and now you got Christmas coming up, like, yo, I'm ready for Winter Express, you know?
Yeah.
I'm ready for iced up World's Edge. I fucking love that shit and I'm like a competitive player and stuff and I pretty much only play ranked. It's like I still want iced up World's Edge, go play pubs on that shit while it's Christmas time and it's cold in my room. I want to fucking
Right.
play Winter Express and hop on the train with my boys. Like, bro, like people still want that. So
I know.
now's
I
not the
wonder what they're
time.
gonna do for that this year.
I think they'll just release the old shit. Honestly,
You think?
I think it's just gonna be iced
But
up World's
then,
Edge
so
and
what? We're only gonna get a month
Winter Express.
of this map or what?
No, I don't think. I think it's gonna, like, I think it will be.
I know what you mean.
They'll
Yeah,
put it
it'll
back
just
in
be
the
the pub map.
rotation for pubs. Yeah, and
And that's another thing. Are they gonna rotate all four maps at one point?
I don't know. Can they even fucking handle that? Can the
Like,
servers?
how is that gonna work?
I don't think so. They'll probably just do
It's
like
always gonna be two maps for a split,
for a split.
and it's
Yeah,
always gonna be maybe like two or three in rotation.
yeah.
Cause four, but four for pubs might be lit. Like, cause every hour
It
they
would.
could have a new map.
It.
So
It.
if you played 8 hours a day, you played each map twice.
I think they talked about this actually. It would be lit, but I think they said that in order for them to do that, they have to have the maps fully loaded. Oh no, that was for arenas. That's why they don't do it in arenas because the entire map
Wow.
has to be loaded for like. That's why they don't have Skull Town arenas. You know what I mean?
Because they pick it out of the.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I guess
That
those
makes
new
sense.
arena maps they're not full
They're
maps.
pieces of
So
the
yeah,
old map and the old assets to save memory. No, that makes sense. They don't want the game to go over like fucking 100 gigs.
yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. But I feel like they're gonna rotate all four. That'd be pretty cool. That's see just like PUBG, now they have a nice variety. But this game is doing way better than PUBG, obviously. Um because there were things technically PUBG didn't work out either. and that's what I'm scared for this game. Like they gotta. There's no other competition royale wise. That's why they kind of don't worry about that, and they just keep pushing out content right now to keep people interested.
Interested, yeah. They definitely like they had this one up their sleeve and they're like, bro, we gotta drop this now. There's no way we're waiting until
There's no
next
way
summer
we're
for
waiting
this.
because we're dead
Yeah.
by Christmas,
Yep.
and that's just facts, man. Like, um, I think either way they're gonna be all right because, like I said, they're like the only royale that matters.
Mm.
They're still gonna be all right. Like even if they didn't release this map, they would have been all right.
Yeah. It's the
But
gunplay that keeps them.
yeah, and the royale is just better than any other one.
Mm.
So and Halo is not competing with that, and neither is Battlefield. So
Yeah.
it's not like they would have to worry about that unless there's just some other game in the works right now that nobody knows about that's about to. But even then, like they would have to just copy Apex,
That's what Blood Hunt seemed like it was somehow
you
gonna pull
know.
off and it just
But like
completely
I told
failed.
you, not only was it niche as fuck because of what kind of genre it pulled into, but
Mm.
if you don't deal with your cheaters and your technicalities, like, and you're not a big company, bro, good luck,
Yeah,
bro.
good fucking luck.
Good fucking luck, buddy. We've been here 3 times now.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
I put 3 games in the graveyard.
Spellbreak.
Naraka and Blood Hunt.
That's crazy though. Naraka really did kind of just like instantly fall off too. Like it's crazy.
Niche too, though. I
Yeah.
mean, I told you all those games are niche, and if you don't fucking have the program sauce in there where it's just like clean and everything works beautifully and there's no cheaters, good luck having your little cult following,
Yeah.
you know? Um cuz that's really all that's left. Like if you come out with something that competes with Apex, what are you going to make? A third person shooter uh with the same mechanics because you can't copy what they like. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to touch a bunch of different shooters but at the same time not be Apex?
Yeah.
Like Apex did that.
Mm-hmm.
Apex touches all those bases. It's like a shooter for Counter-Strike players, it's a shooter for Halo players, it's a shooter for Call of Duty players.
Yep.
So what it would just have to be a better looking, mechanically better version of Apex. That's like literally your only option.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
kind of took it like Counter-Strike. They took their own genre. Like
Yep.
now you have to make a Valorant if you want to
Compete with
compete
that. Yep. That's so true, man. You're not gonna. That's the thing that keeps the game in the mix at all times is the
at all
gunplay
times.
and the
It's the
movement.
gunplay and the movement.
You
You're
have
not
to like. That's something that forever now. The Titanfall, the Apex
is
gunplay.
there. That's theirs.
That's theirs,
That's
and
theirs.
games
They
are just
own
going to be
that.
copying that shit. Just like how
Yeah.
Blood Hunt had the sliding and shit and the wall
Yeah,
bouncing. It
which
was like,
worked really well, you know,
mhm.
but and they did right to like trying to find like a niche genre so that but those kind of game like if you want to be the next big thing though, you have to hit a lot of different corners and not go too far into like something like that. Like you vampires is too narrow of a genre. So,
Yeah,
although you hit all the other shit, you know, technically you're out of the loop because you got cheaters and then also you're on a narrow path with
the aesthetic.
vampires.
Yeah,
It makes it hard to
yeah.
last, man. You got to think about stuff like that.
They automatically put themselves into a box with the vampire shit, and you were right
Yes.
about that from the beginning. You know.
Yes.
Especially to like bring up like the color scheme and things like that, it's like automatically a turn off. Like dark, eerie, it's like people like vibrant. That's part of the reason Apex is fucking lit because they got the colors down too. Yeah.
Yep. All and it's like now what, they either make a game that's like a better Call of Duty battle royale because Call of Duty didn't do it good, or you make something that's like more on like I don't even know, you know? Like that's your only option right now.
Yeah.
Like a better PUBG basically is the only thing that could come out right now that would compete in the battle royale shit right now and like do good against Apex because it needs to hit a bunch of different kinds of people.
Now that I think about it, something cool would be like a more survival based fucking
Like PUBG,
yeah, like PUBG,
like PUBG realistic, but has like
Daisy type
yeah,
type thing, you know?
but way faster pace. You know,
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah.
that's the only thing right now.
Yeah.
That's
Damn,
that's
that's
the
true.
only
Yeah.
little section.
Yeah.
That's game free sauce. No, I'm telling you, developer talk is real. Is gonna be real in this fucking podcast because you know me and DJ aspire to make a game one day, whether it be a simple one or a big one. And I've always had the developer mindset, and I'm always thinking about how, like, it's just a part of me, you know. It's
Yeah.
just a creator part of me. I'm always thinking
Right.
about how the fuck they make the game and why they thought this was that, and then you know. And I've always looked at developer videos on how people make games and how they consciously think about how they're gonna cater to a bunch of people. And so yeah, we'll definitely always be talking about shit like this because it's super interesting and fucking awesome. Fucking yeah. Apex is like they definitely accidentally did some cool shit and then like what they had from Titanfall made them the beast they are today cuz they came from Call of Duty and that's why Call of Duty had the wall running and shit and then Call of Duty was like, "Nah, make your own team cuz we don't want this shit anymore."
Yeah.
And so they made Titanfall and then Titanfall did all right, but like they competed in a genre that was already fucking oversaturated and taken.
Yeah. So when they
So
when they split off and did the BR thing, they did it at the right time when
and they
BRs
did it at the
was yeah.
perfect time, and their ideas were good. And timing is fucking everything,
Mm.
especially with a game. My God,
Yeah.
like, but also if Apex released like this year, it would have done all right too.
Hmm.
You know, which
Man,
is
people,
interesting
what
to
would
think
people be
about.
playing? People would be playing Warzone.
Warzone and Fortnite
More
and
people would be
fucking
playing Fortnite,
uh Tarkov and shit, and like that's all we,
Tarkov.
you know, that's, and then this would have came out and would have been like, oh shit, you
Yeah.
know, it still could come, it would have came out right now and it would have been crazy, but they needed all this time to balance out characters, and like I said, we're coming up on year 3. This is do or die for the game. This is where we find out if it's really gonna last or not.
Yeah. I think it will. Like we said, like the gunplay is unmatched. I can't
Unmatched
find another game that feels as rewarding
with
as
the
killing
movement too.
somebody. Yeah, and using movement and using aim to kill somebody
No
as
game,
Apex.
no Halo's movement was never this good. Old Call of Duty was never like, you know, parts of Call of Duty felt like that, but this is just better version of that.
Better
It's like
version, yeah. And because of the time to kill being a little bit longer, it's more rewarding when you do kill somebody and you absolutely laser somebody and one clip them. It's like, oh my god, you got absolutely fucking destroyed, you know?
right,
Whereas like one clipping somebody is normal in fucking Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
right. I mean, you saw him first, whatever.
You saw him first and he died. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah. Um they'll be all right for a minute.
Yeah.
Just like Rainbow Six, you know. It has its own little niche and
That's
they own that
crazy.
shit.
That's crazy that you said that. I saw on Twitter too the other day. It was this guy's Apex player. He was complaining about Apex and being like, "Damn, when's the next new shit?" Because he's done. Like right now, he's even the new shit is not enough for him. He's like,
He's
"Nah." He's like,
done. He's one of those players that's just done as fuck with the
he's
game.
done as fuck. And he's like, "Damn, when's the new shit gonna come out? We need a new shooter right now." And then this guy's like, "Yo, Rainbow Six," like in the in the comics, and he's like, "Bro, let that shit die already, man." It's like, damn. But that game has a lot of cheaters and shit too, and uh, definitely on his final legs for sure. But uh, probably will still be around for a while because, like you said, the innate gameplay is unique and can't really get some shit. That's literally the fucking Call of Duty Counter Strike. Like I don't know how else to put it. It's literally fucking special ops, fucking real special ops Counter Strike shit. That game is insane.
Yeah.
Um, but we've been going for like
genre.
we've been going for like 2 hours now. So
Damn.
I mean, do you want to talk about anything specifically before we wrap it up, or?
Um, let me see. Let me see. Dude, uh, a topic about, and Ebby wanted to talk about this too. Fucking Squid Game, dude. We need to get into a RP server, dude. We need to get into a GTA RP server right now with the whole community and do a Squid Game. Like, do you know how funny that shit would be, bro?
That would be fucking
Like, oh
hilarious.
my god, bro. Cause like seeing XQC do this RP shit has with all of these fucking people from GTA has been a fucking
That shit
nightmare,
is
bro.
so funny. That shit is so funny. Yeah.
Like, cause they're like trying to get teams together and double cross other people and like they turn the lights off and they're trying to kill like that shit crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It could be wild out here. Like I think that would be really fun to try to get that going in our community somehow. Um I don't know how hard it is to get into a RP server or if we can make our own
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah. Isn't that a mod or something that you can just download and I don't know.
Yeah, it's a GTA mod and then obviously Squid Game it's his own separate thing within the GTA thing. But yeah, it's like a RP mod that we need to download. And I guess I'm sure it works like Valheim. We probably have to pay for a server and then just get it going.
Shoot. Well,
But yeah, it'd be dope to get
I do
like,
have GTA,
like
so
30 streamers from the community like on that shit,
yeah,
Like, man, that would be so great,
that
bro.
would be amazing. Yeah, for sure. That's a hella good idea. We gotta start running that up.
Yeah, we have to run that up. That's basically what I'm trying to say is like we need to fucking start talking to the community and be like, "Hey, let's get a RP server just in general and then do some
Yeah,
squid."
because in general that would be hilarious too. Just doing
Yeah,
whatever
but
on it.
Squid Game's a good, everybody knows what the fuck that is. We could just easily do that.
Hmm.
And it's not no cops and robbers trying to make a whole fucking civilization within a game like we're just playing Squid Game.
Yeah.
Could be lit. And it's funny cuz we'll actually have like motherfuckers that are the squids, bro. Like that have to shoot the people. Like
Yeah.
everybody has to play a role in the movie, bro.
Yeah. Take your potato and sit down.
Yeah, like we have to have the people that don't want to play the game that just want to kill people off. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be great.
Yeah, that sounds
There's
awesome.
a spot for everyone. Other than that, I'm sure we'll just have topics for next week
Yeah, for
for sure.
sure. No, we could sit here and talk forever.
Because we
So
could sit here and talk forever, especially about like game development and shit and
yeah.
music. And that's just
I'm
another
glad
thing with
I'm glad we got a good chunk of that though, on here because initially that's what we wanted the podcast to be like about
yeah.
video games, you know. But we talk about so much shit. It's like, man, why even limit it to just video games, you know?
Hmm.
So
But yeah, that's definitely always going to be a huge, especially because like games are changing weekly too.
yeah,
It's easy for us to talk about shit like that.
yeah,
Um, Games and music, you already know. Um, and then probably next week, I'm gonna send you music this week. So next week we'll talk about stuff like that and what we're doing together and shit.
but
And yeah, be lit.
oh yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching. This is the
Ooh.
first episode of
First episode. Wow.
JK, but for real though.
But for real though, we need to
Uh,
get, dude. That's another thing. We need jingles. We need the title screen. We
I
need
know.
press start to play. We need some shit, man.
Like
Like that would be so lit. Just have some frog playing the saxophone in the back.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, that shit will come though. That it will come. It will get
It will. It will. It's
more
just
and more professional as
we
we
just
go.
had to stick our toes into the water
Mhm.
first, see what it felt like.
Definitely, definitely was super fun. So looking forward to next week. Um, yeah. We'll put this up on YouTube as well. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That's yeah. I think we need to just start shelling them out. It's just good for a lot of reasons. I think yeah, that would be good.
for me, whenever I'm fucking playing like New World or something, or just chilling, like I would have loved to listen to this. You know.
Yeah, I
So
know, right?
yeah.
So yeah, we'll just start posting those on YouTube, and we're gonna try to do this every week, same time, same place.
Oh. I'm gonna play Apex, but I'm gonna cut the stream so that I can just save this as its own stream and download it
Nice.
for the thing. So, but I'll be back on in a few minutes and play some Apex. So,
Bet.
peace.